All right, y'all. I'm back. Y'all ready? We about to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's the last night of the trip, and Mel is pushing that the trip was good without the guys and that they don't need the men there and that they can get along without them. And I am just as low key annoyed with Mel pushing that as much as I am annoyed with how much the women feel like they need a dick to be there in order for them to be having a good time. Um, I'm somebody that, yes, I enjoy a vacation with my man, girl. I do. We have a really good time. Um, but also I enjoy having a good time with my girlfriends. And sometimes if I can do both at the same time, it's a really good time. Okay. Like when we went to Atlanta and it was me, Lyric, my best friend Kima, and Jasmine Black, which I have was my other best friend. So we had a really good time. It was a whole bunch of air signs in there. Okay. Libra, Aquarius, and 2 Geminis, bitch. We was having a very good time. Okay. The energy was like up here. Okay. So to me, I enjoy being able to do both of those things. And I really think it's weird. Like I saw some woman screaming into a cell phone in her car talking about wives, we don't take girls trips. You unhealthy wives don't. You unhealthy, I can only be about my man, bitches. Y'all don't. But those of us that know better know that it's very helpful and healthy to have your own friends, your own shit going on, and for the men to have their own shit going on and their friends and stuff that they do away from you. It's a way for y'all to miss each other. Also, I feel like you go and talk to your friends sometimes and it'll make you even more grateful for whoever you with. Okay. Sometimes, girl, I go talk to my friends and I be like, child, glad I ain't gotta deal with that. I love y'all though. You know what I'm saying? But like you just never know. Ultimately, I feel like if your shit is solid, then y'all should be able to go and have time with y'all friends and family without one another. It doesn't need to always be this, oh, we tied to the hip shit. That was something that I did at the beginning of our marriage until I realized that shit was working on my nerves. So sometimes I'm gonna go out. I'll see you later. Okay. The fuck? Like, no, be an adult. Be an adult and recognize that every adult needs to have time away from their spouse when they can be with their friends or their family or just alone if that's what they want to do. Like nobody has to be constantly checking in with you when I want to like and vice versa. We have a very, we check in because we actually want to talk to each other. How your day going? What you doing? Like just because we care, not because I need to know exactly where you are at all. Like I'm not doing all of that shit. That's wild to me. Y'all do too much. Okay. So I do feel like the women on this show very much give. If the dick is not around, I'm not having as much fun. And you know why you're not having as much fun is because you're worried about what your dick is doing, right, Kimmy? I'm sorry, y'all, but Kimmy doesn't like being away from Maurice because she is constantly in fear that her not being there to give him sex, he's going to go and get it somewhere else. I'm very much, yes, I am very much feeling like, Kimmy, are you in a marriage with a sex addict? Because that's what it's starting to feel like. And it's starting to feel like you are living your life around scheduling sex with him. And I think that's unhealthy. I don't think any woman should fear her man cheating on her or having sex with someone else to the point that she's making herself uncomfortable or anxious because of that worry. I don't think that's how that should go. But I feel like that's what's going on with Kimmy, though. Either way, everybody admits to Mel this is a wonderful trip, except for Destiny, who seems to have a very stank look on her face. And Mel is like, well, Destiny, you don't feel that way? And Destiny was like, no, I feel like you did a good time on the trip. I'm just, can I just be how I want to be? I don't need to be like everybody else. Like, and I do understand that, Destiny, but I also feel like you're a Debbie Downer, bitter, bad attitude having ass bitch. I'm sorry. I wish I could see it another way. But to me, Destiny just has a bad attitude. Like you have a bad attitude, bitch. Like I don't know how else to slice it. I do feel like you have your cool girl moments like most bitches with a bad attitude. But essentially, You talking about they're kissing Mel's ass? Like nobody said everything you do is perfect. Nobody said that. Nobody said that everything Mel does is perfect. But when y'all first came on this trip, everybody was mad at her for something. Either Tisha and Kimmy were complaining about their room, or Nell is complaining about not having her name on a card. Then she having to worry about Sunny being fucking picked on. Then she gonna have to worry about Trisha and fucking Stormy over there. Like at the end of the day, this was a group where only two people she knew for a fact weren't gonna have an issue with her, which was Shanita and her friend Lauren. Those were the only people she knew for a fact were not going to have a fucking attitude about something. But at one part or another, this trip was contentious for everybody. Everybody except for Lauren, okay? Everybody except for Lauren. Y'all's either getting into it with Shanita because Shanita don't know how to shut up sometimes. Letitia, you always trying to be messy and set Mel up while y'all sit up there and act like Mel is the one that's trying to put y'all on blast. Stormy, why are we bringing Trisha around? Why? Come on now. It is absolutely giving y'all wanted to bring somebody on this show that had fucked Martell while he was still married to Mel. And Trisha's attitude towards Mel also very fucking weird. Why do you have a problem with Mel? What did Mel do to you? Girl, I was so confused about what was happening. Okay? But either way, I don't feel like anybody was kissing Mel's ass for simply saying it was a good trip. You did good, girl. Like, goddamn. You want to be all running up behind her and I love you and all of that. But the other girls, like you literally, I love you and trying to hug her and wanting to sit next to her at dinner. But the other girls can't say you did a good job on a trip without you saying they kissing ass. Destiny, I'm so confused. Girl, I'm so confused. I don't know what the fuck is going on with you. Like, I'm so confused, girl. I'm going to just let it go. I'm just going to ahead and move on. So, listen. Destiny then brings up that she feels like as a woman, Nell, as my friend and as a woman, you should have known better than to bring up Sunny and whatever Sunny's doing with my ex because she betrayed me. And at this point, I want Destiny to get the fuck over it. Whether she apologized for real or for play. You need to understand there is no more accountability that can be held. That lady is not going to leave that nigga. She always cared more about that nigga. You care more about whatever nigga you fucking than you do any woman. So please stop. If we want to talk about Mel being hypocritical, so are you. So are you, bitch. You literally over there hanging out with Ariane, still friends with Martell, and don't understand why Mel stopped fucking with you and like to act like, oh no, Mel, that wasn't until after. No. It was very much obvious that over time, you were not able to let go of Martell, regardless to how harmful he was to Mel. And so Mel made a decision that she had to cut you and anybody else that was friends with Martell. She had to cut y'all off. She didn't talk to y'all about it. She just fucking did it. But at the end of the day, y'all are not going to be tight like that anymore, regardless. When are you going to get past it? Sunny is not leaving her man. When are you going to get past it? I feel like Destiny just always wants to have a problem, always wants to be a victim, always wants to be the wronged party. It's exhausting. It's exhausting, bitch. Where is the man you are fucking with? You supposed to have a man, but instead of us seeing you on a date, flirting, texting, talking about the other man you're in a relationship with or fooling with, whatever, you want to keep talking about a nigga that had moved on and married your lookalike. If you really was smart and had the self-assurance you should have, girl, I wouldn't even be stunting them people. I wouldn't even be stunting them people because at the end of the day, people gonna get what they deserve. Where is Moses right now from what I heard? In jail. And you up here acting mad. I'm betrayed. She did this to me. Wham. Like, girl, you are exhausting. Destiny is exhausting. And that's just how I feel. I think Destiny is exhausting as a person. That's another reason why Mel didn't want to be your friend no more, bitch. All you do is complain and I feel like energetically suck from people. You're exhausting. Mel apologizes on behalf of the group. Mel tries to move them along after Nell apologizes and says that was not her intention. Sonny says, if we acknowledge that certain people have been betrayed, then we can move on. But if we stay in denial, then that's the hard part. And see, I feel like at this moment, Sonny was really throwing shade to Trisha. Because the conversation is, girl, you fucked that lady. You sitting at this lady table on her trip and you fucked her husband and now you lying about it. I think that's what the real story was supposed to be. But because Mel doesn't give a fuck, it did not have the effect they thought it was going to have. That's what I think. Destiny says that's what makes it hard to believe your apologies. Sonny is like, so, I mean, like, what you want me to do? Like, I've already apologized. She was like, well, you was coming at me stink. Mel says you did have a look on your face. And Shanita was like, well, I feel like that goes both ways. Shanita, I agree. You literally took the words out of my mouth. Destiny then turns to Shanita and says, like, I know you have your point of view from the outside looking in, but this is me and her right now. Girl, if I want to chime in, I will. The fuck? If you want to have a private conversation, take it away from this table. I'm sorry. I would have went off on her. Shanita just smiled and laughed it all, but that's when I would have been like, please don't talk to me like that. If I want to chime in, I can. You just don't like the fact that it's being pointed out that you are in a constant state of hypocrisy. My God. So Mel, they lay it to rest. Destiny's not gonna ever forgive Sonny. Sonny don't care. Let it go. Mel wants to go back to a positive space, and this is, Mel annoyingly being like, delusional because that girl, we've able, new beginnings. It's not gonna be like that, and you know it. You know it's not going to be new beginnings, Mel. You know that these women are going to go right back to hating on you and each other when y'all get back to Huntsville. But if you want to pretend for the show's sake, I know anybody can pretend for a check. It's Mel. Okay? Mel can absolutely pretend for a check. But I just want to say, so can everybody else. Okay? Everybody's pretending to like each other for a check on this show, just like on Bell Collective. It is no different than any other reality show, y'all. Okay, now we got to have everybody going home and talking to their spouses and sharing stories about what happened. Ken and Trisha's conversation really pissed me off. So Sonny, Trisha was like, Sonny was trying to compare she and Moses' situation to Trisha and Ken's situation. They say it's not the same. It's not the same. Y'all's situation is worse. It's not the same. Y'all situation is worse. The point is, Trisha, that you should not feel so strongly about whatever the fuck is going on amongst them 3 single people when you still married, Ken want to propose, but you ain't got divorced, and you still haven't said yes to his proposal, even if he did propose. Like, you don't and then on top of that, it seems that you fucked Martell when he was still married. That's what it seems to us. I know you want us to believe that he wasn't with Mel, but if he wasn't with Mel, then you were with Ken. And we can't really trust anything you say anyway because you lie so much. Ken don't even know what the fuck going on. Trisha called Shanita Melody's puppet just because somebody was going to say what everybody watching was probably fucking thinking she's a puppet. Girl, I would have been called a puppet and been cursing everybody out along the way. Because I don't understand how you don't see it's weird for you to feel so strongly about Sonny and Destiny's situation as you sit over there married, living with, slightly engaged, maybe not to another man. The fuck? Girl, I'm so confused. They didn't step on anybody's toes. Whose toes were stepped on? Destiny's? You mean the one that said they wasn't together and that she had already stopped talking to him, even though he was running behind her? Okay. Tisha then brings up her going to Martell's house a couple of times. She wanted to talk to Mel face to face, but you never did talk to Mel face to face. Ken says that he doesn't want to talk about it anymore. He doesn't know why everybody's making it a big deal. People separate and move on before they actually, finalize divorces all the time. And then Trisha says Mel did it. Trisha, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not what Mel did. That's not what Mel did. That's not what Mel did. Mel went on a date. She did. Did she move into a house and have a new man start raising her children before she got a divorce from Martell? No, bitch. She did not. But you know who did do that? Martell, the nigga you lying about fucking. He's the one that moved on and was basically in a relationship with another woman while he was married to Mel and continued to have that relationship with that woman after he and Mel broke up. Got her pregnant, had a baby with her, brought Mel's kids over to the raggedy bitch's house. It was very weird, your take on that situation. What is your issue? I'm so confused. Why is it that y'all fuck Mel's husband and be mad at her? I'm so confused. So confusing. Ken says he wants to have a conversation with Martell because Martell is acting like they fucked. Even though Martell is telling the men that Trisha wasn't bad enough, you saw her on Instagram, you invited her to your house, and you said that she was at your house a couple of times. So if she wasn't bad enough to fuck, why was she there a couple of times? Why is she lying about training you? Y'all didn't get y'all lies together before y'all came to us with the bullshit? Kimmy talks to Maurice about the trip. She only had an issue with Nell. The issue with the room was handled when Nell came outside butting in the situation after she had a whole breakdown over not having a name card. Y'all, I don't know what the fuck wrong with Nell, but if I was Kimmy, I'd have had an issue with Nell too. Something is wrong with Nell. Like, you act like a teenager sometimes, and I really don't understand it. Kimmy says that she did get to know Trisha and she liked Trisha more. I don't understand how that was the case since you found out how much she lies, but okay. She says that she stood her ground with Sonny, even though I feel like, again, why is that a good thing that she stood her ground with Sonny, but we don't know what's going on with her? She can't stand her ground with her own fucking story, but she can stand her ground with somebody else's. Why is that a good thing, Kimmy? I don't know. Maybe it was the editing. Then we found out about her and Martell. She handled the heat well. Maurice says Martell said that Trisha wasn't bad enough for him. Maurice says there has to be overlap because Trisha is still married. Maurice says, unfortunately, Ken might love Trisha more than she loves him. Kimmy says we do not need to put that out there because we don't know if that's true, but maybe we should link up with them and get it all figured out. I said, okay, so we're producing each other now. The Scotts, y'all are producing the other new couples on the show so that you don't have to share what's going on in your personal life anymore, because just a little bit that was shared these past few seasons has been too much for y'all's fragile ass relationships. That's what I assume. I could be wrong. I haven't asked. I'll be one. That's fine. I don't give a fuck. Tisha and Marceau talk about the trip. Tisha talks about Shanita being Mel's bodyguard and calling her the op. I'm going to give Tisha all of that because I do feel like Shanita did way too much as it pertains to Tisha. But I also feel like I think Shanita was peeping that Tisha was trying to like put this situation with Trisha and Martell to force some type of response out of Mel and felt like that was fucked up and felt like she wanted to be the one to say something because nobody else was. So there's a part of me that does understand why Shanita was doing what she was doing, but also feels like you were doing a little bit too much. Just gonna say. Tisha says that she and Mel don't have issues. Y'all do have issues. Y'all are both just trying to out passive aggressive the other one. Like, to me, Tisha, you always have some slick shit to say about Mel, and Mel always has some slick shit to say about you once y'all get into the confessionals. So I feel like y'all don't like each other and y'all are just pretending to be cool so that y'all can both get this check. However, I think that Mel is on Tisha's mind more than Tisha is on Mel's mind, to tell you the truth. Marceau said, who Shanita? Is that the tall girl? Tisha said, yeah, Mel's friend. He said, just leave her alone because it's like, Tisha, I don't want you to get beat up by that tall ass lady. Please leave that alone. Okay. They discussed Trisha lying about what happened with Martell. And Marceau points out that Trisha was lying because why would you go to train him at his house where there's no training equipment? Tisha brings up Mel insinuating that Destiny and Martell may have slept together. And Marceau is like, I can see why Mel would feel that way. Why would you say that? Y'all, to me, Tisha is always acting like she don't know what the fuck is going on whenever it comes to siding with, defending, or understanding Mel's point of view. Anytime I can understand where Mel is coming from, she gonna act like she don't know what the fuck going on. And Marceau is always gonna play her out publicly and kind of let it be known that no, I'm not about to go along with stupid shit because you don't like Mel. That's normally what happens. So Marceau saying Martell always says little things like Law looks like him. And he has a way of saying shit over and over again to kind of plant a seed in your head. Marceau is probably talking about how often Martell has said that Marceau is a cheater. But I also feel like people act like it's just Marceau. I mean, it's just the shit that Martell or the shit that y'all feel like Mel has tried to out. But to me, I feel like a lot of why we feel the way we feel about Marceau is because of the things Marceau has said, the things that Marceau has done. It's a lot of shit that was suspect. It was a lot of shit that made us feel like he didn't really love Tisha as much as Tisha loved him. So the Scott brothers, I think y'all are okay when the women love y'all more than y'all love the women. I think that's what y'all would prefer, to be in relationships with women who you don't love as much as they love you. And what really looks bad is Ken loving Trisha more than Trisha loves Ken. That looks bad to y'all, but it's okay when it's the other way around. I would like for people to be equal in their love, but I will say that I think men will mistreat and mishandle women before women mishandle and mistreat men. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen because y'all always try to act like I'm saying that it's always the same way every time. That's impossible. Nothing is always the same way every fucking time. But generally, I feel like because of the way society is set up, women are kind of bullied into staying with men more than men are bullied into staying with women. And I think women are bullied into conceding whatever they value more so than men. So if a woman has, all of these criteria, men will try to break that down. But if men have criteria, y'all will feel like that man is entitled to have his criteria. You feel me? So to me, that's the reason why I feel like it's usually better for women to be loved slightly more, because it means the men will go the extra mile to not be what's natural for them, which is to be a selfish asshole. Women have society as well to bully them into doing right by a man. But yeah, that's just my perspective, girl. I'm sorry. I'm not. So where was I? So yes, Marceau says Martell jokes about it a lot, saying Law looks like him. He says stuff over and over to plant seeds. Tisha mentions Destiny saying Mel was trying to teach the side chick how to respectfully cheat, and Marceau says that doesn't sound true. That doesn't sound like anything any wife would ever really do. And I'm like, so Marceau is making all of the sense this moment. And now Tisha is sitting up there talking about, it just doesn't even sound right saying it. Yeah, but you were willing to go along with it when Destiny said it. And you were in front of all the women. Maybe Marceau should have been on the trip, child. Okay. And Tisha also points out something that I do agree with. She said that Martell probably wants the women to be fighting over him. He probably wants to see Mel and Trisha fighting over him, which is why Mel will never give y'all the satisfaction, because she knows that that's what that's about. And I bet you any money that was a part of the reason why she decided to stop being friends with Destiny, because Martell probably was planting seeds of triangulation between the two of them. I mean, we saw shit on camera that was definitely giving Martell flirting or blurring the line, and Destiny trying to act like, why are you being a weirdo? Bitch, what are you talking about? You know what he's doing. Triangulation. Okay. So Ken and Trisha meet up with Marquez. And I'm gonna tell y'all, this scene annoyed me because I felt like Ken did not need to overly explain himself to Marquez, because to me, if Marquez wanted to be there for his kids, he would be there. Any man that wants to be a father is not going to be scooted out by any nigga. You just so happen to have gotten replaced by a man that values taking care of his family more than you do. You got a house around the corner, but you've been traveling, so you haven't been there for your kids, and your excuse is that they always have things going on. Yeah, you're supposed to show up for those things, sir. You get the schedule and you show up. You come and get your kids from school sometimes. You drop them off. You take them on the weekend. It seems as if you don't do any of those things and kind of just come in and out as you please, and you've been doing that. And partially the reason why you probably was going in and out even of the household with Trisha was because you wanted to keep another man from coming into the home. But now that Ken has done that, now you feel less of a man. So you crying and shit, talking about how, you hugging my daughter at night, trying to insinuate shit. And Ken cut that shit off right there. Yes, I do show affection to her, just like I show affection to my own daughter, who has a great relationship with your daughter, and they spend a lot of time together. You're not about to act like I'm out here being perverted with your daughter because I'm showing her affection. I'm showing her affection because she needs it, because you're not there. But Ken starts to talk to him like he's a fucking fifth grader and tells him, listen, it's the three of us. It's easier if we can all take care of these kids together. Ken is a smart man. Ken comes off like the type of man that knows what you're supposed to do if you're really trying to have control of the situation. Kind of remind me of my pa. My pa's mentality was, I'm going to control everything because I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. Meaning that I'm going to show up all the time. I'm going to be there. I'm going to pay for the shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure that everybody gets what they need. And if you start to feel less than as a man, as it pertains to you being a father, that's because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And you're not about to move me out of my spot. So what you gonna do? And a lot of men, they would rather back away and run and go try to start a family somewhere else than actually kind of man off and make sure they're there to support their children so they don't feel like they're being replaced. It's no different than a lot of black men's mentality with not wanting to trifle with white men. And we're being real. We know on some level, a lot of black men have adopted white supremacy to an internalized level. And how that shows up is you feeling like you can never really compete with them. So why try? Right? You rather just go on and be on the corner some fucking where than actually buying into the system and working and trying and trying to make you don't want to work that hard. You don't want to have to compete and do all of that. So you rather just tap out. And to me, a lot of men do that when it comes to raising their children. You may not want another man to be there, but you're not willing to do the work that it's going to take in order for that to not happen. So you just tap out. And I feel like that's what Marquez did. And for Ken to have to over explain himself, I felt like that was aggravating. But Trisha, you handling your shit real messy as far as I'm concerned. He popped out that paperwork and she signed the paperwork. And I'm like, okay, good. It looked like y'all finna get a divorce. That's good. Good. Let it be done. Because y'all working on our nerves. Let me read what y'all saying. Yeah, his next excuse will be the phone works both ways. Shit make me sick. Oh, yeah. Oh, love when them niggas act like the children are equally responsible for the relationship between the two of them, even though they're the parent. Marquez was full of excuses and full of shit. Mel smarter than that. Don't give Martell no energy, even if he not around. And she know this is about to be on TV and he gonna see it. Like not renewing his vows with his wife during their anniversary trip or traveling to Africa without her. Yeah, all of those things. It's not even low key. He really will go to bat for Mel. He does it to keep Tisha insecure. Triangulation. Marcel be having Mel back low key. Nah, he's been doing that for a while. Trisha tries to be a better friend to Destiny, but it may backfire. Tisha tries to be a better friend to Destiny, but it may backfire. It may. Melody is doing her best not to hate Martell, and every time someone throws something at her, she's just trying to remember he is her children's father. Tisha took me out when she said Trisha was manly. Is that what she said? Girl, I ain't know she said that. You know, Kimmy would defend anything close to a side chick. Trisha gives that. That's so true. Kimmy, you know, we used to fight with you about that side chick moniker, but the way you seem to back the side chicks up, it's kind of starting to seem like maybe Martell was telling the truth about you. Even though I feel like essentially there's no such thing. A man gonna be where he wanna be. You know? Like, just like some words in real life have no meaning to me. Slut, whore, all that shit don't have no fucking meaning. Like, what's the criteria? Because there are a lot of people that was giving coochie to people that shouldn't have got coochie. I think that Trisha wanted to bring Ken to the dinner meeting so that she can prove to him that she has found someone better in terms of physicality. He already know what Ken looked like. That's not why. I think it was because she wanted him to see that this man is taking better care of your kids than you ever did. Child, when he said that he bought a car for his son and took him on trips, I was like, so you mad because the nigga doing right by your kids? Your ego is way too important to you if you care more about the fact that another man is doing it. Like, I don't want my children to have better because I'm not giving it to them. It was the same thing with him and Trisha. I don't want to be with her, but I don't want nobody else to have her. That's really selfish and fucked up for you to impede somebody else's process or not want them to have better simply because you don't want to relinquish your hold on them. It's selfish. You have to let people go when they don't want to be held on to anymore, regardless of how you feel about it. It's hard, but bitch, it's a fact of life, and it's usually for the best. That paperwork was not valid. You need to sign in front of a notary for it to be valid. It was play for camera. I thought they might bring it to get notarized after they signed it, but the fact that you said they have to do it in front of one, yeah, it's giving fake, and she ain't gonna never divorce that nigga. They in fact are not even moving toward divorce. That lady doesn't want to marry Ken, so she's dragging a divorce. And Ken need to wake up and realize that. Did y'all see the digital exclusive? Which one? Which one? Because I saw the one with Kimmy and Maurice, and Kimmy was working on my nerves because I was like, I don't think Mel actually ever solely blamed Tisha for the way Wanda was acting. But I still feel like it's crazy that y'all feel like it's the same thing for Mel to want Tisha to get control of her mom, who she's obviously been talking to about Mel, versus the public and fans who Mel doesn't even know. I do think those are two different things. I think the public and your mama are two different animals. I think you have more of an influence on your family and people that help take care of, like your mama, Tisha. You do have more influence on your mom than Mel has on the strangers on the internet. Just like when Mel put her foot down, now your mama not on the show no more. You see what I'm saying? You could have put your foot down and made it so that Mel didn't have to do that, but you didn't. You know what I'm saying? And even when Stormy was speaking out and saying that her mom was wrong and all of that, it now it makes me feel like you were only doing it because you wanted Mel to take responsibility for the way the fans are coming at you. And I just kind of feel like that is crazy for y'all to do that. And I think it's the same thing y'all have always done. Make Mel the bad guy, scapegoat Mel. Ken never bought a car. He said in his Carlos interview, he let him drive his old car. Ken is controlling to me. I told y'all he reminded me of my po. And my po is very controlling. But the way you control is you show up. So it makes it hard for people to see you for who you are when it comes to that controlling factor, when it comes to that not allowing people to breathe and be who they like. You don't recognize it as much because you value so much the way they show up no matter what. Which digital exclusive? Let me go to YouTube. Let me go to YouTube and see before I get off of here. I hope y'all enjoyed this members only live because I did. Thank y'all for coming through. I just want y'all to know I appreciate y'all and thank y'all because sometimes I don't know if I should keep doing this. You know what I mean? And I know that I have a positive influence on people and I want to have a positive influence on people and I love what I do. And, it just still always sometimes feels like fighting against a current. You know what I'm saying? Like it just always feels like being a lone voice in a bunch of calamities sometimes, So I'm never like fully confident in the fact that I should just continue to do this shit sometimes. Sometimes it's, I could do it forever. I could, but I still need something else. Okay. Because I need to be able to step away. Let me see. Digital exclusive. Yeah. Kimmy pointing out Mel's double standard. Yeah, I saw that. And I felt like I don't understand because I don't feel like Mel ever really blamed Tisha exclusively. I think she took her issue to Wanda. Like when Mel had it up to here with Wanda, it wasn't an issue between her and Tisha. She took that shit to Wanda. Tisha was on the side somewhere. Like if I recall, like I remember Mel taking that shit directly to Wanda when she got ready to say something about it. It really didn't go to Tisha like, oh, I need you to do something. Tisha kept denying what her mom was doing, and we knew it was directly coming from her mom. We don't even know if those fans are really millimeters. Because they could be saying they are just to have people blame Mel for whatever they're doing. Betty was in Facebook groups talking mess this week. I saw that. I love y'all. Okay. Always a great time with you, Bondy. You always keep us learning. I'm trying, y'all. Cooking dinner and needs something I love to listen to. I appreciate y'all. Marquez is emotionally draining. He needs to go to therapy. He does. Ken told him that too. Thank you. I love your channel and perspective. Thank you for what you do. Thank you. She sure did. Your content are amazing to watch. Thank you. I love you, DeQuasia. I'm a woman of a particular age. Shout out to Wendy Williams. You speak so much truth. Thank you. You are one of the real and honest YouTubers. I try to be, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting because you see so many people making it big or doing so much better than me by performing and pump faking and being disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? Or being, messy in a level that I'm not prepared to be. Courtney Fulton, thank you. Just a thought. I worry about Mel and the court judges under Trump's presidency. Child, we'll see. Crystal Brewer, it is not the same thing, and Kimmy knows that. She is just mad that her house cat is embroiled in a lawsuit with a fan of the show and a fan of Melody. Right. I gotta go watch Dinah Rose's video about that. Once you conquer yourself fully, you will realize you are a great woman. Thank you. I'm not there yet, and I'm not afraid to say it. I'm working on it. Okay. I feel like shit on a stick right now, but glad to catch at least half of this live. And you can always rewind it, roll and catch the rest. Hopefully the young citizen brothers. I'm hoping. And if not, then I'm for who I'm for. And I always know that who I'm for will find me. So there's that. But I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And I enjoyed this live and I hope y'all enjoyed it. I think y'all did. And we didn't do the song. So let's do it. Let's do it right quick before I get out of here. Y'all know we had a good one. Members only, members only, only, members only, members only, only. Okay? I love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.